Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be taking a look at ARBE Robotics,
Okay.
a company developing some really amazing tech for autonomous vehicles.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we're going to examine their financials,
Right.
their place in the market, and see if they might be worth adding to your portfolio,
Okay.
all through the lens of Warren Buffett's investing principles.
I like it.
Of course, this isn't financial advice.
Right.
Just a fun exploration of some interesting data. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future deep dives.
Sounds good. I'm ready to dive in.
All right, let's get to it. So what exactly does ARBE Robotics do? They make something called 4D imaging radar.
4D imaging radar.
Yeah, which is essentially a super high-resolution radar system designed for self-driving cars.
Okay.
We're talking about a level of detail that allows vehicles to, see the world around them with incredible accuracy.
Oh, wow. So it's like giving them eyes.
Exactly.
That's fast.
So ARBE's 4D imaging radar goes beyond simply detecting objects. It can actually classify them,
Oh, wow.
like pedestrian, car, bicycle,
Okay.
and even estimate their speed and trajectory.
So it's not just telling you that something's there, but what it is and where it's going.
Exactly. This is vital for autonomous vehicles to make safe and informed decisions in real time.
I see. That makes sense.
And I understand ARBE's Phoenix radar
Yeah.
is making waves in the industry.
Vehicles.
Yeah. Apparently, it's the first surround imaging radar, specifically designed for both front and side installation in vehicles.
That seems pretty significant.
It is. This kind of comprehensive coverage allows for a much more complete picture of the vehicle's surroundings,
Right.
which is crucial for achieving higher levels of autonomy.
Mm-hmm.
Think about navigating a busy intersection
Oh, yeah.
or merging onto a crowded highway.
You need to know what's happening all around you.
Exactly. That 360-degree awareness becomes essential.
Makes sense.
But ARBE isn't the only player in the autonomous vehicle space.
Right.
The report mentions some stiff competition. Yeah, absolutely. The automotive radar market is projected to reach $11.3 billion
Wow.
by 2023, with a compound annual growth rate of 12.5%.
That's a lot of growth.
It is, so it's attracting a lot of attention.
I can see why.
Companies like Austromobile Velodyne and Under are all developing their own sensing technologies
So it's a crowded field.
for autonomous vehicles.
Huh? Okay.
So with all these players vying for market share, how does ARBE stand out?
That's a good question.
Well, their 4D imaging radar boasts superior resolution and range compared to many of their competitors.
Okay.
And from a financial standpoint, they have some barriers to entry working in their favor,
Like what?
including high R&D costs
Right.
and the need to establish strong relationships with automakers.
It's not easy to just jump into this market.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not just anyone can jump into this market and expect to succeed.
You need to have the right technology and the right connections.
Exactly.
It sounds like ARBE has a real shot at becoming a leader in this space.
I think so too.
Okay.
But let's talk numbers for a second.
Okay.
The report walks us through ARBE's recent financial performance.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems they're still in a growth phase with some net losses.
Right.
Can you unpack that for us?
Sure. So ARBE is a relatively young company that's investing heavily in research and development,
Okay.
which is typical for companies in this stage.
Mhm.
While they are experiencing net losses, it's important to look at the bigger picture.
Right.
They're securing design wins with major automakers
Okay.
and are on track to scale production, which should lead to more consistent revenue growth in the future.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But the report also mentions that ARBE's revenue actually dipped in 2023.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Should that be a cause for concern?
Well, it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Okay.
That fluctuation highlights the importance of securing those design wins
Right.
and scaling production effectively.
Mhm.
ARBE needs to solidify its partnerships and get its technology integrated into more vehicles to see that revenue climb steadily.
So there's potential, but also some challenges to overcome.
Right.
Interesting. Before we dig deeper into those financials, let's take a quick break to plug our YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah. Good idea.
You can find even more in-depth analyses and visual breakdowns of interesting companies over there.
Cool.
And while you're at it, drop some of your own stock picks in the comments. We're always looking for new companies to explore.
Love it.
Don't forget, all the sources we're using for this deep dive are linked in the episode description.
Sounds good. Let's get back to ARBE.
All right, now where were we? Yes, the financials.
Okay.
On the positive side, the report indicates ARBE has a manageable debt level.
That's always a good sign.
It is.
Yeah.
Having a manageable debt level gives them more flexibility to navigate the challenges of a rapidly evolving market
Mm,
and invest in their future growth.
for sure.
Speaking of leadership, let's talk about the team behind ARBE. The report highlights their CEO, Kobe Marenko,
Okay.
who has a pretty impressive track record.
What's his background?
Yes, Kobe Marenko has over 20 years of experience leading tech startups,
Wow, that's a lot of experience.
which is definitely a point in their favor. It seems he's built a strong team,
Okay.
and that kind of leadership experience is invaluable in a dynamic industry like this.
Absolutely.
And it looks like major institutions are taking notice, too. The report mentions significant institutional ownership.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with firms like AWM Investment Company and M&G Pelly holding substantial stakes in ARBE.
Interesting.
That's a good sign. It suggests that these experienced investors see potential in ARBE's long-term growth prospects.
That makes sense.
Okay, so we've got innovative technology, a growing market, a manageable debt level, experienced leadership, and the backing of major institutions.
Sounds promising so far.
It does. But let's not forget about Warren Buffett.
Right.
If we're looking at this from his perspective, what would he say?
Good question.
Well, Buffett always emphasizes the importance of investing in companies with a durable competitive advantage,
Okay.
a clear business model, and ethical management.
Those are all important factors.
ARBE seems to tick those boxes.
Yeah, it sounds like they do.
They have a unique product in a high-growth market, a solid business plan, and a leadership team with a strong track record.
I see.
But would those potential red flags,
What red flags?
like the revenue dip,
Right.
the reliance on the automotive industry,
Mhm.
and the fierce competition, give them pause?
Absolutely. Buffett is known for his meticulous approach to due diligence.
Right.
He would likely want to see how ARBE addresses these challenges
Okay,
and if they can maintain their technological edge over the long term.
it makes sense. So before we make any snap judgments about whether or not ARBE is a buy, we need to dig a little deeper,
I agree.
right? And that's what this deep dive is all about.
Helping us understand the key factors at play.
Exactly. Helping you understand the key factors at play so you can make informed decisions.
Makes sense.
Now let's shift gears for a moment and do a quick SWOT analysis.
Okay, I like it.
What are ARBE's strengths?
All right, let's see.
Well, their proprietary 4D imaging radar technology is definitely a major strength.
Okay.
It offers higher resolution and range than many competing solutions,
So they're ahead of the game in terms of technology.
giving ARBE a significant edge in performance.
Right.
They've also secured key partnerships with leading automotive suppliers and manufacturers,
Oh, wow.
which is crucial for market penetration.
Those partnerships could be huge.
That's a good point. Those partnerships could give them a real advantage in terms of scaling production
Yeah,
and getting their technology integrated into more vehicles.
exactly.
What about weaknesses? What are some of the challenges ARBE needs to overcome?
Well, one potential weakness is their reliance on the automotive industry.
I see.
If there's a downturn in the automotive sector, ARBE's growth could be impacted.
That's true.
They're also reliant on a few key customers,
Yeah,
which always carries some risk.
absolutely. Diversifying their customer base would definitely mitigate some of that risk.
For sure.
Any other concerns?
Well, the competitive landscape is constantly evolving. New players are emerging,
Yeah.
and existing companies are investing heavily in R&D.
So they need to stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly. ARBE needs to stay ahead of the curve in terms of innovation to maintain its competitive advantage.
And the rapid pace of technological advancement in this space is a challenge in itself.
Yeah, for sure.
What about opportunities? Where do you see the biggest potential for growth?
Well, the demand for higher levels of autonomy is only going to increase,
Right.
which creates a huge opportunity for ARBE. Their technology isn't just about making cars safer.
Right.
It's about enabling fully self-driving capabilities.
You know, I was reading that ARBE's radar technology also has potential applications beyond just automobiles.
Oh,
They could expand into areas like industrial automation or robotics,
interesting.
and even smart infrastructure.
That's a great observation.
Yeah.
Those are definitely promising avenues for growth and could help ARBE diversify their revenue streams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, last but not least, what about threats? What are some of the external factors that could pose a risk to ARBE's success?
Well, the most significant threat is likely competition.
Okay.
As I mentioned earlier, the automotive radar market is attracting a lot of investment, and new entrants are constantly emerging.
It's a competitive market.
It is. ARBE needs to continue to innovate and differentiate itself to stay ahead of the pack.
And we can't forget about the potential for regulatory hurdles.
Wow.
Or unforeseen technological advancements that could disrupt the market.
Right. The regulatory landscape for autonomous vehicles is still evolving.
Yeah.
And any major changes could impact ARBE's business.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there's always the possibility of a new technology emerging that renders current radar systems obsolete.
Right. So it seems like ARBE's in a strong position,
Yeah,
but they're not without their challenges.
of course.
They've got a lot of potential for growth,
Mm-hmm.
but they need to navigate a competitive landscape and stay ahead of the technological curve.
It's a classic case of high risk, high reward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But before you make any decisions, it's crucial to do your own research.
Right.
Consider your risk tolerance
Mm-hmm.
and consult with a financial advisor if needed.
Couldn't agree more.
All right, folks, that wraps up our deep dive into ARBE Robotics.
It was a good one.
Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future episodes.
Where we'll be exploring more fascinating companies.
Exactly, where we'll be exploring more fascinating companies and investment opportunities.
That's cool.
And if you're enjoying these deep dives, be sure to check out our YouTube channel for even more in-depth analysis and visual breakdowns.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us.
And remember, investing involves risks. Do your own research and invest wisely. Until next time, keep diving deep.